In the battle to keep our drinking water clean and safe, the EPA recently announced important new changes relating to so-called forever chemicals. Consumer Reports sounded the alarm on these chemical dangers years ago. Mike Bush has more on what the new water rules mean for you.
The EPA is proposing the first ever national standard to protect communities from PFAS in drinking water.
That was Michael Regan, administrator for the EPA, proposing its first ever legal limits on PFAS, or forever chemicals, in drinking water.
The EPA's new proposed rule would require public water systems to test for and limit 6 PFAS chemicals. 2 of the worst offenders, PFOA and PFOS, would be limited to levels of just 4 parts per trillion for each one of them, whereas the EPA's previous guideline, which was purely voluntary, was 70 parts per trillion for both of them combined.
PFAS are known as forever chemicals because they essentially never break down naturally, are often added to products to make them waterproof, stain-resistant, or non-stick. In recent years, PFAS have been linked to a growing list of health problems, including increased risk for certain cancers, liver damage, and neurodevelopmental problems.
Once products containing PFAS are made, these chemicals just accumulate in the environment everywhere. They end up in our water supply, they end up in our food, and they end up in us.
When the new regulation would go into effect is still unknown, but there are some things you can do to limit your exposure to PFAS from other sources, like avoiding stain and water-resistant clothing and carpets, and using cookware that claims to be PTFE-free, such as pans with ceramic coatings. For Consumer Reports, Mike Bush, 5 on your side.
It's important to note that the proposed rule only applies to public water systems, not private wells, which about 1 in 8 people rely on for drinking water.